Good morning, children. Welcome to your storytelling class. And the name of today's story is Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and his sister Gretel lived with their father and stepmother in a little cottage on the edge of the forest. One day, their stepmother told their father,
"There is no longer enough food for all of us to eat. Tomorrow we must take Hansel and Gretel into the forest and leave them there. If we don't, we shall all starve."
Their father was very sad, but at last he agreed. Hansel overheard them talking, so he crept outside and filled his pockets with shiny white pebbles. Gretel was very upset too. The next day, their stepmother took the children deep into the forest. Hansel dropped the pebbles on the path.
"Wait here. I am going to collect wood,"
said their stepmother. Hansel and Gretel waited all day long. It soon grew dark.
"Do not be afraid, Gretel, for I have left a trail of shiny white pebbles. We shall easily find our way back home,"
said Hansel. And so they did. Their father was very happy to see his children back. Not so their stepmother, though. When she noticed the trail, she locked them in their room so that they could not gather any more pebbles. The next morning, the children were each given a crust of bread to eat. Once again, they were taken deep into the forest. This time, Hansel had broken his bread into crumbs to leave a trail.
"Wait here,"
said their stepmother once again, but never to return back. Hansel and Gretel waited all day. Then they looked for the breadcrumbs on the path. But the birds had eaten all the breadcrumbs. Now they were lost. At last, when Hansel and Gretel could go no further, they saw a little house through the forest. To their delight, the children found that the house was made of gingerbread. Hansel and Gretel each helped themselves to a piece of the roof. It tasted delicious. Just at that moment, a kind witch appeared at the front door. The witch took Hansel and Gretel inside, where a delicious meal was waiting for them. But the kind witch was really a wicked witch in disguise. She locked Hansel in a cage. Then she told Gretel,
"You must work very hard cooking for Hansel. When he has fattened up, I shall roast and eat him."
Every morning, the witch went to the cage to check if Hansel was getting fatter. But Hansel would trick her every time. The witch was very puzzled because he never seemed to get any fatter. The day came when the witch could wait no longer. She lit her big old oven. Then she said to Gretel,
Climb inside, my dear, to see if it is hot enough to bake bread.
Gretel realized that very soon the wicked witch meant to roast her too. So she replied,
But I do not know how, and the door is far too small.
The witch became very angry.
Why, it is even big enough for me.
She snapped. Then she put her head right into the oven to show Gretel. Just at that moment, Gretel pushed the witch with all her might. The witch fell right into the oven, and then Gretel quickly locked the door. Gretel ran to free Hansel from the cage and tell him that the wicked witch was dead. Now that there was nothing more to fear about, Hansel and Gretel went to explore the old witch's secret room. In every nook and corner, they found sparkling piles of jewels and gold. The children filled their pockets and then they set out through the forest, hoping to find their way back home. At long last, Hansel and Gretel saw their own cottage through the forest. Their father was very pleased to see Hansel and Gretel again. He had been so unhappy since his children had been gone, and their stepmother was now dead. Hansel and Gretel gave their father all the jewels and gold that they had found in the gingerbread house. From that day on, they lived happily together in their little cottage. And that's the end of the story. Hope you liked the story.